Good evening, fellow coders. My name is Mohammed Kanji, and I'm the Communications Director and Technical Director for the Vision in Code team. Our organization aims at teaching young students, like yourselves, the art of coding in an effective and time-efficient manner. We will have a 5-session course dedicated to introducing the basic principles of coding and delving into 3 main codes: Java, CSS, and HTML. This is the first session of our course, and its aim is to inform you about our vision as an organization and how to correctly download and operate our chosen software, VSC, Visual Studio Code. The goal for this project. The goal of this project is to create an environment where many students alike can join and participate in the learning of the language of the future. Code is what will power all of our lives in the coming years, and we think that it's imperative that the new generation understand the language of their lives. Thus, we aim to teach the students of the Aga Khan Academy how to code with the intention of preparing them for the rest of their lives. Before continuing further into this setup, I would like to tell you that our door is always open to any of you who have questions or seeking advice from us or unsure on how to continue with your own personal codes. Our door is always open for you to come and ask questions and give your feedback on our courses, and we would love to have your ideas, and we'd love to hear what you think of this course. Okay, let's head to the actual setup now. So you're going to open a Google Chrome browser, any other browser you have. You're going to head to the URL location and type in https code.visualstudio.com. This is our chosen software, as mentioned before, VSC. It's going to take you to their homepage. Here you have 3 options for macOS, Windows 64-bit system, and Linux 64-bit system. You're going to choose the correct one for your operating system. So in my case, I have a Windows computer, so I'm going to load the Windows version, as already mentioned here. When downloading it, there's an automatic pop-up at the bottom left-hand corner signifying that the download has started. This is required for you to understand that the program has started downloading. Here we can have, there's an introductory page on how to fully understand and operate the software. We highly recommend you have a quick look through it so that you understand a bit of the fundamentals of the software. For example, they have some keyboard shortcuts that you could use that help you increase the speed of your coding. And also I've mentioned a couple of extensions that are useful when in this software, such as a Python extension, which is another famous code. Yes, now let's get into the code as it finishes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's open it up. So first, going to take us to a privacy screen, making sure that we agree with the terms and conditions as mentioned here. So you can have a quick look if you'd like, but usually go straight and accept the agreement. And let's create a desktop icon so we know exactly where this is, and install the software. Now here's going to be extracting the files so that it's in a secure location on your computer that you can easily access. We highly recommend you use this specific software as the examples given and the way our coders, professional coders, will be teaching is through this software. There we go. So let's launch the app and finish the setup. Here we go. So this is generally the home page of the app. We can signify where we are using this left navigation bar. So the main ways of getting around is through this left navigation bar, which is stuck to the left-hand side of your screen, and the top navigation bar, which is stuck on the top. Before you start anything, we highly recommend you have a quick look through the Get Quick Startup and then the Fundamentals pages. These are really useful in understanding how to code and use this software correctly. And then the fundamentals help you understand the settings and code it to your preference. Up here we have the file, which is opening new files, which will be the location where you save your coding. You can edit, select, view, go to, run, and then there's your terminal page, and then you have your help. So this is how you're going to be navigating through your codes. And on the left we have our Explorer. We have our search. This is used for finding certain functions. This is not something we'll be teaching. We have our run and debug. This is something to run your codes to make sure it works. And then finally, we have our extensions of Marketplace. This would be something we'll be using, since it's basically access to some of the codes that are not automatically given with this software, but they are free and you can download them as an extension. For example, Python uh, is an infamous code that you can download here from the Marketplace. And then you can also find CSS and HTML, both codes that we will be using later in this course. So that is currently it for how to use the software as an introduction. Professional coders later will get on to how to use it to their preference and also how to use it in coding the 3 different codes that they will be teaching. Let's close this tab and we can go back to our Safari page where I will be talking further about how our organization will be conducted and how we will be teaching you how to code in an effective and efficient manner. Firstly, let's talk about the chosen software, VCS. So we picked VCS and we're going to do a bit of analysis here to determine the positives and negatives of the software to show you how we picked it in our thought process in picking a good software, which is fundamental to coding. So we picked it firstly because it's a nice, well-built software made by Microsoft, and it has features like auto highlighting and repeating variables. It's quite lightweight and easy to run on even slower laptops, so it should be quite universally functioning for everyone. It's helpful for quick script modification, which is an important factor when you're a beginner. It's also incredibly, it has like tabbed window management, which allows you to be more organized with your codes. And there's also application functionality, and it can be expanded through many different extensions and plugins, which are available on the free open source store. It's pretty decent, and as mentioned before, it's fast to use, and the themes that are available are quite likable and they're enjoyable to use. However, some of the disadvantages to the code is some of the plugins and extensions are only available, can cause stability issues, especially if they are all installed together on the same software at a time. Also, extension management can sometimes get complicated when running a lot at once, and the app from time to time does consume more resources than necessary in terms of battery and CPU, but a restart usually fixes it when you're just cleaning up your laptop. So these are the pros and cons of the software VCS, which was the one we have picked. We hope that the pros align with your interests and the cons do not and won't affect you as much, because from what we've seen, this is the best software for new users and people who are just learning how to code. We hope you understand our choice and will download the software as it is a fundamental aspect, and it will be helpful for you as you'll be able to see the codes that our professional coders will post and compare to your own in a like software, which will be easier for you to understand. As mentioned before, if you're having any issues with the coding software or maybe with your codes, you can always reach out to us. Or if not, you can always use the VSC website, and there should be a list of frequently asked questions over here. And in there, you could check some of the issues that you're having. Maybe they appear here, such as crash reporting and some stuff maybe to do with your computer or maybe if its compatibility. And this will allow you to sort of be on par and make sure you're keeping up to date with our courses as they go on progressively. And you can always be encouraged you to practice when between sessions so that you sort of understand and keep the pace, because we'll be moving at quite a fast pace as we are on a 5-session course and we are trying to move at a fast pace and teach you this in an efficient manner. Here also there's going to be an overview of some of the major codes that some of which we'll be teaching, such as Java, where it has some of the aspects of this code, and same with CSS. And this website is generally quite useful in just learning some of the basics and generals, some fundamental aspects of coding. Those that have stayed to the end, thank you very much for listening. Throughout this one session, we have looked at how to set up and operate the chosen code, VCS. We also looked at the advantages and disadvantages and the reason we picked this software. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you learned something today. We hope to see you in session 2 of the 5 Long course, where we talk about we go into more of learning how to code uh, specifically, taken up by one of our fellow members who is an expert in coding.